how about us guys who hit the wall of aging? For the last few days, I've been looking at videos about that were shared on social media about hitting the wall. These were women hitting the wall, and for the life of me, I thought this is bad stuff because they were saying when they were 30 or even 25 to 30, that's when the wall started going up to where they were finding it difficult to get dates. Now, it's my opinion that I don't think that's necessarily always right. I have seen some very wonderful people at all ages. And if I was on the prowl, a person wouldn't have to be 25 or 30 or 35 or 40 or 45. They could be 50 or higher. I'm not on the prowl. Having said that, I want to discuss instead men and the wall. Yeah. Why is it that there's not so many videos on that? All you gotta do is go to YouTube, what I'm on right now, and you'll find probably only a handful of guys hitting the wall. Now, when we talk about the wall, let me explain. That's where people aren't necessarily interested in you. They still will talk. They'll still maybe go out on a date, or maybe they won't go out on a date with you. That's where the barrier starts. Um, if you don't think there's a wall for men, go and just observe men, and you'll find you'll find big stomachs. Can we call them beer bellies? Because that's what they are. Drinking too much beer, not sticking with a low calorie and low carb beer. Okay, so you got your big belly. What lady in her 20s or 30s or even 60s wants to hang out with a guy that's got about 40 pounds of pork on their stomach? So we're talking about being out of shape, aren't we? That's going to help create the wall. Okay, so a lot of us have been known to smoke. And those that continue to smoke or maybe have stopped have respiratory illnesses, including COPD and emphysema, which I've been diagnosed with both, but a lung doctor this year found out that I didn't have that. Is black mold. We had a sort of a flood in the basement from a heavy rain, and it developed into wetting the walls and behind the drywall had turned to black mold over the years. And when they tore the drywall down, it was black. It was black. And that was removed. The next day I stopped coughing. The hoarseness left my throat when I talked. And that was about 3 years ago, actually. And I haven't had these, quote, allergies and COPD and emphysema. I haven't had those. It's still on my medical record for what that's worth, but I'm going to notify them to remove those from my medical records, because the lung doctor said I didn't have it. I didn't have those illnesses. Okay, I mentioned that, so we're out of shape from drinking too much beer or any other drinks. Could be Cokes, Dr. Peppers, stuff with sugar in them. What's some more things? I wrote down a few things here that can cause the wall in men. Health problems. No one really gives that any time, but you do have health problems breaking down, depending on what type of work you do. If it's construction or roofing, you're going to have joints needing to be replaced. You're going to have fatigue, tiredness. I can't name them all. I'm just now going along with that. It's forgotten dreams that they were going to go back and become go into a different field and all this. So it gets to the point where men also get frustrated with life, get frustrated with aging. Knowing that they're not going to get a better job if they quit the one and apply for another one. What I'm saying here is that the potential of getting higher paid jobs decreases in most areas. And there's exceptions. If you're a top-notch surgeon, we had Coots and Clennard over in Louisville, expert hand surgeons. They could work and did work as long as they wanted to, and people flew in from all over the country, over the world, I mean, to observe and learn under these two doctors. Had the privilege of seeing both of them, but only talking to them for half a minute, maybe a minute. They were social events. Okay, that's an exception, right? As you go into most white-collar jobs, the pay will decrease as you get higher. The job opportunities will decrease. So you have a lot of downward shifting that a man will go through as he gets older that you really don't think about. I'll tell you this, for example, I used to work in the mental health field, had my own mental health counseling centers for many years, 35 years. Worked for myself, contracted with other agencies that were community mental health facilities, and I may have mentioned this on another video, but I was told when I if I ever decided to not work privately, to call them first before I called anywhere else. Now this was like 4 different agencies, community mental health agencies that may have a coverage of 7 counties each or 6 counties each. Call me, call them first because they may have a director's position open, or they may make one open. Well, when we all got to about the same age at the same time, so they were retiring, and I was staying in the field. So I asked them about this. I said, "Where do I fill out a application?" They said, "Oh my, you'll have to do that online, and we've been bought out by a company in another state, so you'll have to go online and fill out a online application." And you got to understand, we had relationships, people relationships, them and me. They knew my quality or lack of quality. I like to think I was a quality a worker, therapist, even director. I was director of LifeSpring Mental Health Services for 3 years. That was over, I think, 6 or 7 counties. Oh, but I was only. Let me explain that disclaimer here. I was only in charge of the one here in Madison, the clinic in Madison. So anyhow, I had experience in all this and knew how to do about everything you would expect would need to be done in emergencies, crises, and things like that. So the time came when I decided I'm not going to work for myself anymore. The cost was getting too high. The leases were, I'm going to say, expiring and getting too high to renew. So to make this real short, I didn't fill out a single application, and I just operated from a smaller place that rented me. Believe it or not, they knew me and they rented me a space in a huge facility for $200 a month, and I stayed there until I totally retired. But see, I hit the wall. Nobody would consider hiring me. There were ads in the paper for directors of different facilities belonging to the community mental health facilities. In other words, they had to have a director for each of the, say, 6 or 7 different counties. I noticed they were picking people in their 40s, 30s, and 40s. I became a director when I was about 38. So, being the age I am now, I had hit the wall. I didn't know that's what you called it then. I had hit the wall. Can I still do counseling? Yeah, I've kept all my licenses. I've kept all my malpractice insurance. And hopefully my reputation's still positive. But I would have to reserve a room someplace to meet with people, whether it's a motel room or whether it's a restaurant, a conference room or something. Yeah, I can, and sometimes have known to do that, and had sessions that way. The wall was created by other people. It was not created by me. I kept all my credentials. But the age makes the difference. Even with men with experience. And I've had a lot of experience. But no, I'm too old. They're not going to tell me that. That'd be age discrimination, wouldn't it? Okay, going right along with this. Older people dating younger women. Okay. Let's say, for example, I'm 40 or 45, but I'm not. I'm older. And let's say I get a date with someone 23, 24, 25. Here's how it would go. Because I used to take my secretaries out to eat, sometimes take all the secretaries out to eat at my expense just to celebrate a day, or for no reason at all other than we're just going to have a social event. So, but anyhow, let's say that I'm with someone half my age, 45. I'm 45. They'd be 22 and a half. Here's how the dates go. Here's how they probably would go. Well, you have a very nice daughter. A very attractive daughter you have. You see the wall? You see the wall. It's not a date. If she was in her 20s and I was in my 40s, it'd be my daughter. It wouldn't be my date. That they would think, because they're looking at the wall. What the wall would indicate it should be. Well, I think that's about enough to entertain you with. And I do know one last thing, and I find this entertaining. The number of people I've known who would need to go to Thailand or Russia to find someone to marry, because they didn't have the wall in place in those two places like they do in America. At least that's what they say. So, and I have had the privilege in my office to counsel people who had gotten into a relationship and got married to people from other countries that spoke English. And I tell you the truth, the ones that I met didn't work out too good. I'll just say that much. And very likely it could be different customs, different ways of expectations being different, things like that. Well, this is a short video, but and it's something I thought would be fun to do, just to let you know there's a wall for men as well as wall for women. So have a good day, and we'll talk next time, okay?